EX equals 2 to the x is the parent graph, and it causes like a half parabola type shape, and it's an exponential function. In the first example, 4 to the negative 1/3 x plus 1 will cause the graph to vertical shift 2 because 4 is the first number and you have to divide it by 2 because that's how you find A. And then because B is negative 1/3, it'll cause the graph to horizontally stretch 3 and flip. And then because H is negative 1, it'll cause the graph to shift right 1 because you do the opposite of H. In example 2, the first number is 2, so that means A is 1, which will do nothing to the graph. And B is 2, which will cause the graph to vertically shrink 2. And then H is positive 2, which will cause the graph to go left 2. And then K is 2, which will cause the graph to move up 2. In the third example, the first number is 6, so A is 3, which will cause the graph to vertically shrink 3. And B is also 2, like in the previous one, which will cause the graph to horizontally shrink 2. And H is 2, which will cause the graph to move left 2. And K will be negative 1, which will cause the graph to move down 1. The domain and range will usually, in the parent graph will be x is greater than or equal to 0, the range will be y is greater than or equal to 1. In example 1, the domain will be all real numbers and the range will be y is greater than or equal to 0 because k was 0. In number 2, domain will be all real numbers and y will be greater than or equal to 2 because k was 2. And for the last one, the domain will be x is less than or equal to 0 and the range will be y is greater than or equal to negative 1 because the k is negative 1.
The end.